Kodak, not a member of the Dow, but it used to be. The news today, a little sad. The 131-year-old company has hired Jones Day to advise on a possible restructuring, i.e. bankruptcy.
And this is a company that has done more to try to reinvent itself and fail than almost any other company I've ever seen.
Bankruptcy and failure, two words that 15 years ago would be unthinkable to associate with Kodak. Remember the term Kodak moment? The phrase synonymous with every great picture taken and every timeless memory recorded. How could such a brand name giant be forced to cut its workforce from 120,000 in 1973 to 86,000 in 1998 to a meager 19,000 by 2011? How did Kodak fall behind in the industry, and what steps are they taking to recover? That's what we're going to cover in this video.
Looking back, Kodak began as a vision and hope for one man, George Eastman. His dream was for all people to be able to document and celebrate the special moments in their lives. Back in 1879, George invested in a new method of mass-producing dry plates, covered in his newly invented emulsion solution. From the success of his emulsion, he gained the resources to research and develop a more user-friendly method for the photographic process. Eastman, under the company name of Eastman Dry Plate Company, invented transparent, flexible film. Such innovations sparked the trend of photography as a hobby, allowing consumers to take pictures more easily. Going into this industry, Kodak excelled partially due to a first-mover advantage. Eastman's investment in research and development, and then later in his employees and brand image through the use of advertisements and the reputation that comes with a high-quality product, differentiated the company before there was even any competition. From the 1880s until 1950s or so, Kodak invested as it pleased, placing its resources where they saw fit. The company invested its financial resources on expansion into areas such as England and Australia, as well as in promoting the brand in the United States. Starting in 1950 and running until 1989, Kodak had an 18 by 60 foot advertisement in the main terminal of Grand Central Station in New York, starting off with the promotion of the then new idea of Kodak Colorama transparencies. They utilized the intellectual assets that they held in their employees to research the advancement of film in addition to getting into new industries. Even as early as 1934, Kodak had partnerships and subsidiaries in the medical field with X-rays and vitamin manufacturing, and in the defense system by creating aerial cameras and training photographers for the Signal Corps of World War I. Over the years, Kodak invented numerous products and technologies and held patents for many of them. Kodak was actually the inventor of the digital camera. In 1975, the company completed the prototype that was the size of a toaster and produced black and white images. By this time, Kodak was fully feeling the effects of competitors. Competitors in the camera and film industry, such as Nikon and Canon, as well as Fuji Photo Film Company of Japan, had first broken into the market in the 1950s and had built names for themselves by the time of the digital camera's invention.
Kodak was severely threatened with rapid growth in technology because they didn't anticipate how fast digital products would become a huge commodity. Kodak held on to their resource-based view and didn't acknowledge the changes outside the organization, nor took advantage of the tacit knowledge their human capital held.
As you may see in this graph, in 2002, the traditional sector of earnings accounted for 70% of Kodak's revenues. But by 2006, the film sector will only account for 40% of their revenues. For instance, in the early 1980s, when Fuji launched the 400 speed color film, Kodak did not take competitors seriously. They believed American consumers will be loyal to Kodak, ignoring the low cost that competitors were offering, which was about 20% cheaper. Top management at Kodak thought consumers wouldn't switch to a foreign film manufacturer. Unfortunately, they thought wrong.
Kodak's main advantages to barely surviving the transition to digital were its size and financial security. Unfortunately, when Kodak missed its earnings targets for the first quarter in May 2005 by $142 million and taking in a whopping $1.4 billion more in debt to fund digital acquisitions, the company's once AAA credit rating dropped to junk bond status, according to Standard & Poor's that April.
Following Kodak's dropped credit rating, as well as declining revenue, Kodak and their senior leadership took steps to make the transition to digital. Antonio Perez, who joined Kodak in 2003, became CEO in 2006 with the main goal to make Kodak completely digital by 2012. In terms of the value chain, value-adding activities were refocused to ones that cut cost. The most prevalent change was the supporting activity of the firm infrastructure. When Perez became CEO, 18 out of 21 executives were let go because they were too stuck in the pre-digital age. Kodak needed forward-thinking employees who could help play catch-up with the rest of the photographic and film industry if they wanted to even attempt to recover. The majority of the new executives were new to the company and had experience with digital products. Kodak started realizing that any innovation, including business strategies, can become a commodity. Product innovation would not be enough to fix Kodak's problem. The company was in need of renewing or innovating a new business model. In 2004 and 2005, Kodak lost a total of $2 billion. In July 2011, Perez put about 1,100 of Kodak's patents on the market, which were worth roughly $3 billion. At this point, it was crucial for Perez to make sure the company still had cash. Another way Kodak decreased their cost was by outsourcing manufacturing, which is a huge transition considering product development from start to finish was always in Kodak's complete control. Kodak released the EasySure digital products, including a camera, printer, etc., which all complemented each other. This economies of scope approach helped cut cost by using the same resources to make different products. Kodak's flaw in this product launch was yet again not realizing how quickly technology was becoming a commodity. In recent years, Kodak has become more of a business-to-business company than directly selling to customers. For example, in January 2007, Kodak began its 10-year partnership with Motorola, selling Kodak chips to increase the camera quality in Motorola camera phones. Despite the company's efforts, it might be too late to catch up to competitors such as Nikon and Canon. Digital cameras and products are becoming commodities so quickly that Kodak is consistently behind the technology evolution.
George Eastman's once successful company, unrivaled by any competitor, is fighting for survival. Like many other companies, Kodak has not always been able to keep up with social trends. Since inventing the first digital camera technology in 1975, Kodak has not been able to make the smooth transition into the digital era that they themselves created. The inability to recognize the rapid growth in technology harmed the company in the long run because several of their competitors did. This rocky digital transition has placed Kodak in the worst crisis of their 131-year history. While Kodak switched their focus to other products and to working with other businesses, they have all but lost the consumer market. Unless Kodak can adapt to this ever-changing world, they will always remain one step behind.
Its stock has gone from $114 a share in 1962 to 79 cents today. And now the company that in many ways built Rochester may consider bankruptcy to survive.